All right, so welcome. We'll give it a few more minutes as people are joining. We have an interesting one today about AI agents, and I built a few little demos that you guys will be able to see. So hopefully those will be good and work well. Tested everything out. So that shows kind of how the agents will work with using like remittances and everything else. Everybody see my screen okay? No, I don't think I did the sharing out. All right, can everybody see my screen? Can anybody see my screen? Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Okay, cool. All right. That's why I was wrong with audio. Okay, welcome, Salam. Cool. Cool. All right, good. So what I'm gonna do is we'll go ahead and get into it a little bit. There's Frank Victor. All right, so we're going to go into AI agents today, and we're also going to look at how they work with blockchain and Bitcoin and how we can use them for all kinds of different wealth building in Africa and diaspora. So we'll take a look at those, and we'll do an update also on the global crypto, Bitcoin, and blockchain, like we usually do. Not sure if Joseph is going to be able to join in. He might have a recording for us later that'll be in the Telegram group, and then we will look at how we can use those in terms of wealth building. All right, there's Precious. Cool. And we'll have a session from Precious at the end, who will be presenting and giving us some use cases, real use cases for how we can use these in Africa and diaspora. So those should be pretty good, interesting ones, and should give a good perspective. Welcome, Precious. Welcome, Victor. And we got Yvette coming in. Welcome, Yvette. How you doing?
Hello.
Hey. All right. Where's everybody joining us from today?
I'm fine.
All right. Precious, I know you're in now. If you guys want to just put in the
Sorry.
chat where you're joining from. Precious is in Nigeria. I am on the East Coast in the US. And Venezuela. All right, cool. So we'll be going into those parts of the session. Just by a show of hands, if you want to put like in the chat or you can just give a reaction. How many of you are familiar with AI agents or know what an AI agent is? All right, so Yvette, you know about them. Cool. Kansas, welcome. Anybody else know what an AI agent is? All right, so we'll explain from the beginning of it so that everybody has a good idea of what we're talking about. We talk about agents. Well, first we'll start with a little bit of the landscape of what's going on with crypto legislation and what's going on right now. So there's a big act in the US called the Clarity Act, which when it's in place, it will set up kind of the final pieces that we need to make it so that there's like full support for cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, in the government, and that's kind of set in law. So we're hoping that goes through in the next month or two before we start having elections, because then it'll get harder for them to pass anything. And if that goes in place, then people who are doing blockchain, who are doing Bitcoin, who are doing cryptocurrencies, who are doing, decentralized finance will all have pretty good clarity, name of the legislation, to be able to basically proceed with that. And then the Genius Act has already been passed, as far as I know. I don't think there's anything more on that one, but there are proposals and things that are going as far as implementing that. And that's going to make it fairly clear for the US. And then a lot of the world has also been kind of following that model. So I know Nigeria, Ghana, a lot of countries across the African continent, the UK have all been putting in place legislation as well. Singapore, Hong Kong also. And then from an Africa blockchain perspective, Nigeria, the SEC, like we said, they've been setting up their regulation and putting that in place, which is good for the CBN, which before they really hadn't been doing it. They'd been, kind of dragging their feet, but now they've really started to move in this last year as well. And Ghana is piloting blockchain registry for combating title fraud, I think, on land, which is a really good use, actually. So you can make sure the land that you have is yours. There's a lot of different stories about people get land, and there's, disputes over who actually owns the land. So it's supposed to help with that. And then South and East Africa. Well, South and East Africa, right now, we require crypto exchanges to hold licenses. So they're putting in the licensing and they're putting everything in there as well. And Kenya has BitPesa, remittance platforms, and things along those lines as well. So the remittances are very low in cost. And you'll see an agent that I built that it's a demo agent, but it'll show you how you can like do the remittances and everything, and how you would do that with an agent and with blockchain. Icon, welcome. And then the continental momentum, so across the African Union, the whole digital transformation strategy that they have, it explicitly mentions blockchain and AI and a Pan-African payment system. So that's, going through all the way. Hey, Con, how you doing? Hey, Dollar Bill, how's it going?
For example, some countries.
Hey.
Good to see you. All right. And so they're integrating digital assets, infrastructure all across. And when we say Pan-African, that's including the six region, as they call it, which is the diaspora, African American, Caribbean countries as well. So that's all kind of connected to the strategy they have for, connecting everything with blockchain and AI, which is good. All right, cool. And then international markets, like we said, US, they're getting the last pieces of legislation put in place, and I'm hoping they get that done next month or two, because that'll make it really clear for everybody to be able to, if you want to launch a business in this space, you want to, run agents, whatever, everything should be really, really clear from that perspective. So that Clarity Act is like the last piece there. The UK, they have the FCA, which they're basically putting their stablecoin bill and everything in Parliament, and they're putting that with a good innovation stance for the UK. So that's coming along pretty well also. I don't know if anybody from the UK has any other update as to anything that's going on there, but that piece seems to be going well. And then Singapore, the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is the MAS, they've always been very future thinking. So they've got a lot of blockchain and cryptocurrency and digital asset startups, and of course AI, that they're also doing there as well. And Hong Kong has kind of reopened everything, kind of also competing with that, Japan. So there's a lot of movement. Things are moving very aggressively, very bullish, right, in the market. And we actually see the prices are now going back up. So hopefully things stabilize. We don't have anything more going on in the Middle East. Things calm down there. We're actually in a pretty good position where it looks like we could come out pretty early from the kind of the winter, if you want to call it, as far as prices. The Bitcoin's been pushing up past 80,000 pretty consistently over the last week. And hopefully we're going to see it keep on going higher than that. So we'll watch it carefully. I think that's something Joseph was saying, was that if it pushed past 80,000, he thought that probably it was likely that we were coming out of any bear market, but we'll keep watching it, and hopefully pray that that's what the case is. Okay, so, and then Singapore and Hong Kong are aggressively opening up and making more digital asset projects in Web3 in East Asia. All right, and Bitcoin AI, a convergence moment. So as we talked about, obviously, It was about a year and a half ago now, the first time that Bitcoin crossed 100,000. It looks like it's headed back to cross that line again. But what we're seeing is Bitcoin, right, is neutral money for AI. I'm going to give you an example of that a little bit later. So what you're going to see is that Bitcoin actually is, when you have all these AI agents, if you hear people talking about, oh, this AI agent, that AI agent, the money that they're actually using is the Bitcoin, right? So it is Bitcoin, it's cryptocurrency, Ethereum, all these. That's how they send transactions. So you send it out and you go, hey, book me a flight, do this, do that. The money that it's available, it doesn't really, can't go into your bank account. It can't go get physical dollars. Usually it doesn't have a credit card. But what it can do is it can have a bit crypto wallet and it can send, cryptocurrency. All right, stable coins, AI operating capital. So, you can keep all the kind of the savings that they're using in USDC, USDT, as I talk about, like, hey, my team using those as well. Allow AI agents to hold value and pay for compute and hire other agents. So the AI agents actually pay each other, which is really cool, right? So they're actually using this as money to pay each other, not just to go and pay, on a platform or pay for a plane ticket or some travel thing, but they're actually paying other agents and then send those other agents to do things. So they're creating their own economy. Welcome, Jack. How you doing? And then smart contracts is AI agreements. So smart contracts, right? AI can set up, the agents will set up a smart contract with other agents, and then it can be people and agents in there who are going to then make, whatever agreements they have, and it'll be paid for using cryptocurrencies. So that's how these things are all coming together, right? I remember listening to a session from BlackRock, the CEO, Larry Fink, and he was saying basically it's, AI and it's blockchain. Those are like the two key focuses going into the future. So from an Africa diaspora perspective, we definitely want to make sure that we're paying attention to these, and that's what we're going to get into a little deeper as we go today here. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit of this. This is just a nice intro. Alicia Little, I follow a lot of her stuff on, they call it the Queen of AI, on how you actually use AI agents. So I'm going to play like about 5-7 minutes of this, just as a quick intro. Let me get it to the beginning, and hopefully you guys can, let me stop my share and restart it to make sure I'm sharing the sound. 1 second. All right, welcome, Jackie. You guys can type in the chat there where you're joining from. Say hello. All right, cool. Let's try it again. Good. All right, let's give this a try. Turn my sound down a little bit. It says it last.
Right now, you will be left. So I had to make a phone call. I said, Alicia, can you come back and teach us more about AI? Because if you
We went from 4 days and at least
You
2
guys
to
hear
3
that?
people to 7 minutes and just
You
AI.
guys hear it?
We all need to pay attention and get in
Yes,
on
we
AI,
can.
but really learn how we can use it. Like, how does it apply to me? Sometimes the fear can be overwhelming, but when you really look at this is how you can use it, then you start to pay attention.
You can build a 6 or 7 figure business with maybe one other person in all AI.
We're looking at a time where entrepreneurs are going to be able to scale faster than ever, start their ideas faster than ever. Really what it comes down to, which I'm so passionate about, is just knowing what to use when.
It has to work or it has to work.
Welcome to Circle of Greatness. I'm your host, Nehemiah Davis, and you begged me for another episode with this young lady I'm about to bring back. And I see the views. We're over 100K views on this. Y'all said, please bring back the Queen of AI. I feel like she was just getting started. I need to see more. I truly believe if you don't learn how to dial in with AI right now, you will be left. So I had to make a phone call. I said, Alicia, can you come back and teach us more about AI? Because if you're not locked in on this, you will be left. So without further ado, I got my sister back in the greatness house. Alicia, Queen of AI, thank you for coming back.
I'm so excited to be back.
How you
Thank
feeling?
you. I'm feeling great. I
Good.
love talking about this topic.
Hey,
I'm ready.
I did not know the episode was going to go, it went crazy on our show, Coach K's show.
Yeah.
Like, why is why is it so big right now? Tell me, what's your thoughts about it?
Well, we're all looking for an advantage. Like, how can we get things done faster, easier, be more efficient with it, scale faster?
Yeah.
And now we're in a time where things are easier than ever with artificial intelligence, but a lot of people just don't know where to get started and how to find the right information. And so it's something that I'm just screaming and preaching from the rooftops. Like, we all need to pay attention and get in on AI, but really learn how we can use it. Like, how does it apply to me? And that's what I like to talk about. And I think people really are starting to see, okay, I see how it can apply to me, how I can use these tools to benefit myself instead of just this big picture of AI. And sometimes the fear can be overwhelming. But when you really look at this is how you can use it, then you start to pay attention.
Yeah, so my man Chris Bruce told me years ago, like, hey, man, go be the face of AIs for Black. And because I regret not dialing in sooner. So our payroll is it's a lot every month. It's reducing more and more because of AI. And I'm grateful for that. And I say all that to say is like, man, what if I would have actually dialed in years ago? But now I'm on AI every day. I'm listening to your stuff. I'm reading your books. I'm checking out your content. I'm all in on AI. And one of the things you said to me, and I don't know if you said it to me, but you said it, period, but I just have grasped it. AI first.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything I do, like literally, I pull out my phone now. I go on Chat GPT. Like normally I audio everybody. I audio text now I literally go do my audio in Chat GPT and say, organize this, put it in the checklist, and then I'm just sending it to my people. It's been game changing.
Game changing. You're talking about things that would have taken you a long time to do, or you just wouldn't have done it because it's just too much work to do. Yeah. And now it makes you feel, doesn't it make you feel like empowered and smarter? You're feeling like you're getting to a next level in just what you're able to do and capable of. We're capable of so much more when we really leverage AI, just like what you said.
Yeah. It's funny you talk about it, right? The other day it's 4 a.m. I wake up 4 or 5 a.m. sometimes. And I'm like, yo, I need a flyer. I'm like, well, by the time I write up what goes on the flyer, so I got to use my mind to come up what goes on the flyer.
Right.
Then I got to send that to my assistant.
Right.
Then she got to send that to the graphic department, Lean. We got to wait till he comes into the office.
Okay.
You got to get the revisions back from him.
That's right.
Then I'm going to say, no, I don't like it. So the time, it would have probably took me 5 to 8 hours to complete the project.
And 7 steps you've just talked about there.
I literally went on chat, said, hey, create me a flyer for XYZ. Here are the images. Done. And it was up on Instagram in 2 minutes.
Crazy, right? So
and that would have been $75 like a la carte for just a standard graphic designer, $75 to $125 for a flyer.
But then also add in the amount of time, the frustration, the back and forth that would have taken. So now we can go from idea to execution like that. And that's what's game changing for us. So you stepped into it and you said, let me learn how to do this. Let me do it. And now it's game changing for you. And so this is what I tell people, like, step into it, learn how to do it. And you can go from idea to execution, which is how so many entrepreneurs now and those that are leveraging it will make their millions of dollars faster than ever before. People that were sitting on the fence with their entrepreneur idea is now going to be like, I can take my idea and run with it. I tell people, run, go, run, let's go.
And it's crazy when you say that, right? It's unbelievable, but you can build a 6 or 7 figure business with maybe one other person in all AI.
That's
tools and processes.
That's right. And that other person needs to be your person that uses all those AI tools. Yeah. So you can even tell them what you need to get done, and they're using AI to get everything done for you.
And what I want to do a little bit different today. I want us to actually pull out the laptop and I want us to see some tools, but I want to say something, but I want us to, how can we build maybe somebody's first or next digital product right here? What are the tools we need? Like the team we need? Like, let's figure something out like that. But I've been saying this to people, and we're hiring more and more people in our company. And I'm like, yo, there's a problem here. We don't have a full-time person that only focuses on AI. If you are a company, I believe right now, and if you do not have an AI integrator in your business that is only looking for ways to improve every process, install AI, replace some jobs that aren't necessarily needed,
right?
That should be your next hire.
That's right.
I truly believe if you have a budget, your next hire need to be an AI integrator.
That's it.
AI consultant, and I know you certify people as well, right? Yeah, so that's powerful. So can we pull out the laptop?
That's fun. Let's do it. Let's pull out the laptop. All right, let's go. So let's say that somebody wants to create their first digital product and they want to create a course. So they're going to create a course and record a course. So I'm on ChatGPT right now, but let's skip over to Gamma and use a tool that's a little bit less used. So this tool is called Gamma.app, and it can create your presentations like that. And when I say like that, we're going to time it. So there's 3 ways you can create a presentation with Gamma. We could paste in our outlines if you already have an outline. We can import a file or a URL.
And this is actually a tool that I use to create our presentations each month for the meetup. So I'm going to play like another minute here. I'm going to play at the end. I'll have the recording in here for you guys so you can check it out. If you want to watch the whole thing, we should have it on our Patreon in the slide deck.
But what we're going to use today, just for dramatic impact, is the generate section. So from one line, we're going to generate. So let's say that somebody wants to create, let's say they want to create a course on the 3 keys to, let's do leveraging artificial intelligence.
I like that.
Okay.
So this is an AI course.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Leveraging.
This might be my course at the end.
I know. Here we go.
Yeah.
The 3 keys to leveraging AI. Let's do for entrepreneurs. I like to get entrepreneurs. So the 3 keys to leveraging AI for entrepreneurs, and why they need to get in now.
Is this called prompting?
It is. So what we're doing is we're writing a prompt right now for Gamma. And all Gamma is asking us for is 1 sentence. So now we're going to click this button right here that says generate outline. And it's using AI now to take that 1 sentence and generate all of our content for us that's going to be on this presentation. So you see this presentation right here. So you can see there's our 8 PowerPoint slide. That's what I asked for, was 8 PowerPoint. If we wanted 20, I would have put 20. But I said I want 8.
Wow.
And then you can pick a theme. So I put in my own colors and font that I like, but you can pick any theme or set yours. And then you tell it how much text do you want on a card. Do you want it to create AI images? It's keeping it simple. And we're going to press the generate button. And now is where we start counting on how long it's going to take to create our presentation for us.
How long it used to take to make a PowerPoint?
How long would it take you if you had to sit down and create? Look, here's the outline. If you had to sit down
Realistically, for me, probably about 5 to 6 hours, because I'm not techie. So
it would have taken me at least 4 hours to create that. And I'm an AI expert, but.
So it may have taken me 24 hours.
I mean, without AI, but I'm saying the content, I know the content, but this generated all the content for us and everything. And the key is really to press this generate button and then to count. All right, so we press the generate button. So now it's generating our presentation for us that we can present. So this is what we call from, idea to execution so fast. Okay, so here's our slide. It's creating the content on the slides, the outline. You'll see that it's going to create all the images for the slides. We can download it as a PowerPoint, a PDF, a document, set it up as a web page so quickly. So look at this. So all of this AI generated. You see it starts generating the images and anything we can do. Oh, wait, stop. So how long did that take, do you think? Like
20 seconds?
20 something seconds. I'm in my sister's account. Let me delete her name so I can take credit for it. And then I'm going to put it in presenter view so we can actually see it. Let's just put it here. Wow. So now here's our presentation. So now let's say I have to do this presentation tonight, because realistically, this is a presentation I would do. Here it is. Here's my presentation. The 3 keys to leveraging AI for entrepreneurs. Why get in now? Wow. And here's slide 1. Why entrepreneurs can't afford to wait.
So I use that every time.
Because I'm not
all right, do this
I've
presentation.
never read.
And I can do the base presentation in like she does for 5 minutes. Obviously, you got to adapt and adjust it. I'm going to go to the end here just to play a little bit of what she says at the end, which I think is really good. And then we'll get into showing you some of how the AI agents are working with the blockchain, with the Bitcoin and that side of it.
Speaking and talking for you. So there's lots of different tools. I use HeyGen, but you can use different tools to create your avatars for you so that now you can create content for your audience so that you can create more offers. And, when you offer more, you need to sell more. And then I would definitely get a phone agent. So get a voice agent that can answer your phone for you because you're too busy right now and that sends you the messages that are relevant. So our voice agent, her name is Monica. And so she answers all of our phone calls for our company. And so with that, with that voice agent, it's also taking away from, time that it would take me to have to answer these calls or someone else on my team. So you start to think about, okay, what are the things that I need? But if you're not sure, go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, I'm a coach, I'm a life coach, right? And this is what I do. This is who I am. Feed it as much information as you can. I made $1,000 last month, and I want to make $5,000 next month and $10,000 the month after that. Give me a plan of action of what I need to do. Here's the courses I have. Here's my website. Here's some of the stuff that I sold. Here's my audience. And it will give you a plan of action. And it will say, you need to create 2 more courses. You need to do this on social media, all the things that you need to do in order to go from 1,000 to 5,000 to 10,000 to 100,000 a month, and follow the AI's plan of action and ask it any questions. So
give me a business plan to go get 6 figures.
So my sister has an agent that's a business consultant. So she created a business consultant that that its knowledge base is our company information. And she can go to that consultant and say, look, we've got the AI Marketing Summit 2025 coming up. Here's the website. Here's all the information about it. You know, we really want to take it to the next level for the audience. What are some of the things that we could teach them? And how can this help our business by teaching them? And it will give her all the advice and things that she might not have thought of because she's so busy doing all this other stuff. And now she can focus on what she's really good at and then say, all right, here's the ideas that we need to execute and pass it out.
Powerful. Man, woo! Hey, I don't know. This has been
fun, right?
Yeah,
It's
this has been game changing.
Great.
So I'm gonna leave something for the marketing summit.
Okay.
I really appreciate you for coming back on here and just the people requested you again.
Thank you.
So we gotta leave something for when you come back again in the future.
Okay.
But thank you so much, Alicia. Let everybody know how they could connect with you, how they could build with you, and can't wait to see you on the next show.
Sure.
Cool. So, and we have at the end, I do the affiliate link also for her. So if you guys like her stuff, you can check that out when we close out. But she always brings like a lot of really great perspective on how you use AI, how you use agents. So I'm always following, trying to keep up with what she's doing. She's light years ahead of most people though. So that is like, for instance, how this, the slides I create, those are all using the, Gamma, which is the one you'll see right here. And let's get a little more into agents now. Okay, so I don't know if anybody had any questions about that, kind of like that little intro on agents. You guys have any questions about that before I dive in a little more on how it works and how we can tie it together with the crypto payments, everything along those lines? Anybody have questions about that? It makes sense. Welcome, Erica. Did it make sense?
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely made sense. That's awesome.
Okay, I'm going to go a little bit now into how the AI agents can be used with crypto payments, digital asset payments, right? So basically, it's going to receive a task. You're going to say, whatever it is, I need to send money to, my family member who's over in, the Caribbean or in Kenya, or whatever it is. I need to pay for something. That you get your tool. Basically, it's going to, pay for whatever tool it needs to use. It's going to deliver, and then you can withdraw, reinvest. So the agents are going to be able to actually run autonomously on their own out there. They're going to be able to use the digital assets that we always talk about, set a wallet up, send payments, and they can earn crypto. They could even be staking and doing things like that for you in the background. I will caution you, though, you have to be careful because your agents, that's it's always insecurity for your what you have. It's always the weakest link. So let's say you have an agent and somebody gets into it. If it's hooked into every one of your wallets and every one of your accounts, then that person now has access to every one of your wallets, every one of your accounts. Now you have to decide, what are you going to connect to what? Like Alicia Little, she said, I think she has like everything connected. She said she has not responded to an email in over 70 days. Apparently it's only her AI agents to respond to everything. For me, I'm kind of dipping my toes in there, but I don't give full control over like all my email, right? So you really have to think about what you want to connect it to, what you don't. And I definitely wouldn't put it like to every wallet. Like every wallet's connected. I might have like one or two that are specifically tied. Like, okay, cool, use those ones, right? So that aspect, and then it's going to be able to basically, you don't have to be able to code. And I can tell you this because I spent most of my career being somebody who did a bunch of coding, a bunch of technology stuff, right? Now, I don't spend any time coding. So I built like 2, 3, 4 different apps. You'll see one of them a little later over the last week or two. And I probably spent like no more than like an hour or less on each app. And I did not spend any time coding at all, right? So I just told the AI what I wanted it to make for me. And then I had one for videos. If you guys follow the video series I do, the Great Moments Africa, with all the video animation and everything. So I built an app to, connect and give me some, set up some video for me. And then I set up one for a client that I'm working with in AI right now. And basically I set it up for her to be able to see how, this application she wanted to do. And I was able to build the whole prototype, everything working in less than an hour. And then the one I'm going to show you guys here, which is an example of how the AI agents and you can use digital assets for remittances and payments in Africa diaspora. And that took me probably 30 minutes and no coding. I just told it what I wanted to do. Okay. So that's a good thing because in the past, it was almost impossible to do any of this stuff if you couldn't code. I remember I used to talk my sister, she always contact me and go, oh, can you make this app? Can you make that app? I'm like, that's going to take a lot of time because you got to code everything. But now you don't have to, it will do everything for you. So this is a really big leap forward. All right, so live demo. Let's take a look at this AI agent that I put together, right? You'll see how the AI agents are going to interact with Bitcoin and digital payments. And we built one here. So I'll show you what that looks like. And basically, the agent's going to receive and send payments, real-time blockchain transaction tracking, stablecoin payment flows, and no wallet or crypto required. You can just explore. So this is the one that I've created, a little demo, which is over here. I created this using a tool called Manus AI, which is really powerful, actually. So I just told it, hey, I need a demo. So I created this Arius, which is an AI agent, right? And let me go back to the opening page here. This is the one I created in about 30 minutes, right? Smart money for stronger futures. So this is basically an agent that is going to, for African diaspora, to be doing for wealth building. So it's telling you kind of 94% cost savings on remittances, less than 5 minutes to settle and get things done, 425% year wealth growth, and 150 plus countries covered, right? Because anything on the blockchain. And Arius designs for the African diaspora. This is just a demo, by the way, although it could be turned on a full app, right? So borderless remittances, you can send from any country, anywhere you want, Africa diaspora, wherever you want to send, throughout the US or Europe, wherever you are. Wealth building, so you can, invest in Bitcoin and stable coins, AI powered, so it's an agent that's built into it, right? Secure, transparent, blockchain-based transactions. All right, and then you have instant settlement because everything settles on the blockchain in seconds, so you don't have to wait for days. I used to send stuff when I was, I remember I was in Singapore, I told the story. I was trying to send funds for my dad because he wasn't well, and it took weeks for me to try to get anything. I was trying to send something from Africa to get it sent, and it took weeks and weeks and weeks. I couldn't get it sent. So, instant settlement is really powerful. And then global access, no bank account required. You can just use your phone, your internet connection, and the AI agent's wallet, right? And set it up. And the problem, of course, we got remittances that are very expensive, very hard to pay for. Currency depreciation, like if you have the Naira or you're using Zimbabwe or other currencies, and almost all currencies actually are going down in value, right? So a lot of times people are like, yes, my house is now worth, 2 times as much. But does anybody really know why the house is worth 2 times as much for the land? Anybody know why it's really going that much in price going up?
Tokenization, maybe?
What's that? Tokenization, you said?
Yeah.
So it is actually, if it's on the blockchain, it could be related to the blockchain. But if you just have a regular house, you got just a regular piece of land. So you got a regular piece of land in Ghana, you got a regular house somewhere in the US, whatever it is, and it doubles in price, which has been happening, right? Why do you think that is doubling in price? Is it because your house is just like getting super valuable?
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes, John. I think it's because of the demand, right? And the scarcity of the land. So there's only a certain amount of land. Land is not infinite. And so the demand comes in and more people want to buy. So that's what goes up your houses compared to other land that's the same size. And if that people are interested in buying, let's say you have a two-family house and there's a bunch of people on the market who want to buy two-family houses, there's only a certain amount of two-family houses. So that tells you what the value is based on the demand. That's what I think.
Yeah, demand is a big part of it, Abel. So that definitely is a big piece of it for sure. Demand is going to bring up that price, but there's another piece to it here. So I was talking about, right, depreciation. Anybody think of, right? I mean, think about, for those of you, I'm dating myself here, but if you remember buying groceries like back around like whatever, 2010, 20 or 2000, okay? If you remember buying groceries back in the day, if you brought $100, you could like stock up. You could buy everything you want and have some extra left over, right?
Yeah, inflation.
Yeah. Now, if you go with $100, how much are you going to buy?
Nothing.
Not much. You're not buying much, right? So that's a big part of why that house is now so expensive is because your dollar is buying less. It's buying less and less and less. And the dollar obviously is the strongest of these fiat currencies. But if you're in Kenya, you're in Ghana, you're in the Caribbean, you're wherever, you're getting even more hit by your currency going down even faster, right? So that's a big piece of it, is that depreciation. And then you're actually able to avoid that using things like Bitcoin, right, which are going to hedge for inflation. And then the remittance is obviously very low cost to send on the blockchain. I've been experimenting with different blockchains. A lot of them were free. Actually, I sent for my team last month. Limited access to wealth building tools for unbanked populations, right? Versus, AI agents automate wealth management. And you can do that no matter where you are. You can be in South Africa, you can be in Jamaica, you can be UK, wherever you are, you can be New York, you can do it, right? And actually, New York actually has very strong regulations. But you're still going to be able to benefit from that. Slow settlement times, 3 to 5 days, where you can do it no account, real quick, easy. So I gave a couple of different personas here. This is what you do when you're like building your app or whatever, right? So we got Amara, who is in the US, and she's sending to Nigeria. Her challenge is remittance to services, and she's able to basically send over using the app here, and she's saving $180 in savings on remittances. She's built $8,400 by putting in things like Bitcoin, and consistently sends her family support. And then you can see Kwame, who's a software engineer in the UK, and his challenge is high remittances, right? And then his solution is he's able to send over the remittances as well, saving a lot instead of using Western Union or MoneyGram, something like that, or the very high bank fees. And then the fee savings, 94%, $120,000 funds that he's kind of built up, wealth growth of 325%. Over 4 years, he's accumulated 120K. So I've got several. And then not only is it remittances, but think about, now obviously you can't be scared of the fact that this market goes up and down. But let's say that you're sitting in Washington, D.C., or you're sitting in New York, you're sitting in California, you're African American, you're looking at, obviously you can buy properties and you have a lot more access to things here, but your money is still losing value, like we talked about, right? So it's still depreciating. If you get real estate, that's good. Obviously that's going to give you some benefit. But also another thing you could do is you could get some Bitcoin, right? Or you could get things like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And there's even gold-backed tokens that are on the blockchains. You could invest in gold tokens, right? And so any of those are actually going to allow you to keep building wealth. And the other thing that the wealthy do is not only do they get that token or they get that asset, they're actually going to borrow against it, right? So you could go to DeFi and you could actually borrow against it. So you've got cash flow that you can use all the time, even while you keep on holding on to that Bitcoin, that Ethereum, that gold-backed token, or whatever you're doing. So also the same use case if you are, African diaspora, African American in the US, you're Caribbean. Obviously, we can also send. We got Zainab here, who's sending over to Kenya, and Australia to South Africa, and many of these. So these are some of our use cases. So let's take a look at what it looks like. This is the agent kind of demo that I built for you guys. Took about 30 minutes to an hour yesterday to build it. So again, Manus AI, very cool tool. So you can see here, I can come in, I can go, okay, so it looks like we got some balances here. I have 177,000. This is purely a demo. You can send a remittance, you can invest now. I think those are working, but I can just type it over here. I've got a little agent chat and I can say, okay, send a remittance, right? And it could also put it in auto mode, but anyway, you saw it send a remittance, right? And so down here now, I should see it is sending a remittance over here, 39 over to Ghana. And there it is, 519. And so I just sent that money over to Ghana just that fast, right? Just done, just like that. And maybe you're buying some land, you're in the US and you want to buy some land over there. You can send it over to your real estate agent, whatever, say, hey, just send it like that, right? And then if you want to invest now, okay, so we can say there, click invest now, and it's going to, let's see what transaction it did. These are all simulated. So it invested $1,990 US into Bitcoin, and then we can probably see it's going to reflect our balance up here in Bitcoin, increase. We got 87,000 in Bitcoin, so I can watch my portfolio. And you really, let's say that you were sitting somewhere in, Ivory Coast, so you were sitting somewhere, in Rwanda or wherever you might be in the Gambia. A lot of these investment tools really wouldn't be available to you, right? But here I can just, put in. Obviously, you have to watch that there is fluctuation and volatility, but I'm able to invest it just very easily like that. And then I can, of course, check my balances. Welcome, Lucy. Check my balances. And so it's going to take a look up here, flash up and let me know what the current balances are that I have. I can see how much USDC, how much Bitcoin we have, how much Ethereum, how much Solana, and it will tell me, okay, what's the current remittance costs? I can check that out. All this is an agent that's running all this for me. And so I can see, okay, here's my traditional method and the crypto, obviously super cheap, right? You can see like 0.5, 0.5% versus 8.5%. And I don't know if it verified all the numbers, but you get the idea. Much more expensive to send these remittances using traditional versus sending it using the blockchain and Bitcoin. The agent is doing this, right? And so you can see here's our wealth projection. So if I just leave everything in traditional savings, which is like 2% is very generous, frankly, but let's say that I'm getting 2%. Okay. So I'm going to start out with whatever it is here, 10,000. And at the end of 5 years, I've gotten $11,000. I don't know if it's that much. Okay. On the other hand, I think the average I've heard from 75% up to 150% average year over year for Bitcoin. And that, if we look at it here, starting with 10,000 over 5 years, you basically doubled your money. Right. So, and I think this was a pretty conservative number. It's at 15%. So you can see that these are tools that were never available in a lot of parts of the world. And even if you're in the US or UK or wherever it is, you're still benefiting because using these tools is really powerful. And obviously I can have my agent running anytime. So I can put it into automated mode, which I didn't, right? I don't know what it actually does when I put an automated mode. It's a demo, but it would sit here and it could run. So I could tell, do these things, do that, send the remittances, invest, do all these things, give me alerts. And it's going to run all that automatically for me without me having to do anything, right? So this is my kind of AI agent. In fact, I may put a little more back end on this and have it do some stuff for me, right? So if you guys can see the power of that, that means that this is able to run for me constantly, doing my wealth building, doing my remittances, investing for me, helping me to adjust, watching the markets, alerting me what's going on. And I can do this anywhere in the world, where before you would have had to have special tools and sitting, on Wall Street or be a high net worth investor in the US, the only one who could really access it. And now anybody can use this stuff and do this. So you guys see how powerful that is?
Wow.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not to mention, I built it without having to do any code, and I built the agent with a few prompts and, like less than an hour.
I got a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you decided to go live with this, could it be used as a service? Let's say I wanted, yeah.
Definitely, Eric. I mean, as I'm demoing this too, I'm actually thinking about that actually. But like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think yes, it definitely could be. The big thing that really is, I guess I would call it the challenge or the risk is the regulation, right? So there is I'm trained as a lawyer, so I'm also looking at that stuff. But the regulation is what you have to be careful about, because obviously, can I get it? Can I run it with no problem? Absolutely. But if I set this up as a service, I'm like, hey, this is my, I'm running this, right? Like I told you at the beginning, we have that legislation right now in the Congress in the US, and they're trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to regulate this thing? How are we going to, decide what's going to go through? So that's why I'd like them to get that done, because it makes it fair. You're like, okay, I know exactly what the rules are, right? But right now, it's like a little bit, we don't know exactly. They might say, oh, we're allowing this, we're not allowing that. You're not sure. So that's really the I think the risk part. Now, if I was based, only over in Singapore, I'd probably just run the app. I'd probably be fine. If I was based somewhere like in, Ghana, Kenya, whatever, you're probably good. But it depends on your location and the regulations, because, if you're just like using like sending payments, having your agent run, I don't think anybody cares, right? But if you're like, hey, I'm running this as a service for everybody, that's where you have to start to be more careful about, okay, well, what are the rules in my jurisdiction? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, definitely. I mean, in terms of like, could you run it? Absolutely. I could probably start running as a service this afternoon if I wanted to just run it, right? So, yeah.
Mhm. So on the back end, it would link to your actual Bitcoin account.
Yeah, you could connect it to your self-custody wallet. You could also have it connect to an API to like Coinbase or Binance. They have APIs so it can connect, and you don't have to do a bunch of code. You just have connect to this account. Here's the information for the account. It'll probably ask you how do I log in, and then you're good to go. And so
Okay.
it could transact there. If it's going to Coinbase, it could probably actually transact, send it to your regular bank account, or Binance, send it out to a regular bank account, bring things in, invest more, send it across using the stable coins, connect to your self-custody wallet. So it could do all of that. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
You guys have other
So
questions?
one more
Go ahead.
question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one more question. Okay, let's say that I was in Nigeria, right? And let's say my sister had this app and I had it. We could send money to each other that way,
Yeah.
just like that, right? Without
Yeah.
going
Just
through
do
a
our little
bank.
send remittance thing there. You just say, hey, send
Yeah.
remittance, and then you select who you're going to send it to. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if it simulates that. Send remittance to my sister. Let's say you already have this sister account and knows what it is. And then it will just ask you and it'll say, okay, cool. We're probably running it now. Remittance sent to, looks like that's going to Ghana, 943, 947. So the agent would know who it is or say, hey, what's her account? Or, and that would just connect and send it right over to her.
Amazing. Okay, Western Union.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why a lot of like the banks and the Western unions are quite scared. A lot of them are integrating, and a lot of them are also scared because they're like, man, that's been like our whole like thing. We're the only ones who can do it
Yeah.
now. Now almost anybody can jump in and can do this, right?
Right.
So but obviously for Africa, especially since Africa and diaspora, a lot have been left out, and that's not just on the continent, but it's even in the U.S. like we talked about redlining, not necessarily getting all the financial products and things like that. Sometimes this is like just opening everything up. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But the key is we have to really move on it because, there's going to come a point where it's like banks are going to try to just lock everything down again. And then people won't be able to access it. So the time to use it is definitely now. All right. Other questions? Cool. So that is Arias, and we will see Erica if I'm able to make that live. We'll see what happens there. All right, cool. If there aren't more questions, I'll go back over to the slides. But that is how easy it is for us to use an agent and have it, help us to be able to send these transactions, receive these transactions, invest, do remittances. Very powerful.
So, John, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
And this might sound strange, but I know that when I use HeyGen quite a bit, and they have agents that are already that I employ to do whatever my commands are. But so so you did this through Manus. So these agents that we get, they're not independent agents. They all work from the various like Manus and the various AI programs. Is that what I gather?
Yeah, so the AI agents are tied to different platforms. Manus, I think, is owned by Facebook, although I think there's some challenge on that. If you're using the HeyGen, I like HeyGen. That one is obviously it's got its own agent in its platform. Gamma has an agent for setting up for the presentation. So usually this is what we call this is kind of a specific use agent, right? This is not kind of artificial general intelligence, which a lot of you might have heard that before. General intelligence is kind of like, I hate to say it, it's kind of like the Terminator, right? It's like, okay, if this thing can go out and do anything at once, right? So we're not at the point where the agents generally do that, even though there was something called OpenClaw. If you guys heard about that recently, it's like a platform. It's like its own social platform for the agents where they were creating their own stuff. I think they created their own religion. They did a lot of stuff out there.
It's supposed to
But
be pretty
generally
aggressive,
speaking,
right?
what's that?
The Claude agents are supposed to be pretty aggressive.
The OpenClaw was actually the platform. So it was like a social media platform for agents, right? Where they were doing all kinds of stuff, among themselves. So that instead of having like a bunch of different people and, we were kind of giving them commands, they were like, okay, you can just go free on this platform and do whatever you want. They went out there and they created like their own community. And we're going to see a lot more of that kind of stuff happening because, agents right now, they're pretty narrow purpose. Like you said, you got one for Gamma. I've got an agent that I use there. You got an agent that you're using HeyGen. You got an agent that you're using in, that I'm using over here in Manus. Claude is pretty good. Claude Code, Replit. So they all have their own agents, but those agents are kind of restricted, into they have their own little sandbox, right? But there's going to be a point where they're going to just be like running free all over. It's starting to happen already. And then we don't really know how those will behave because honestly, I guess the best way you can put it, they've got a mind of their own. So they're gonna do all kinds of stuff. We can't even predict necessarily everything about how they're gonna do it. But right now, they're still, like you said, much more limited to like a single platform. Welcome, user, whoever that is. You can say hi. Let us know who you are and where you're joining us from. All right. So does that answer your question, Dollar Bill?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
The
Good.
reason why I was saying that is because the last time you and I were having that discussion, it was still on Kickstarter, but it's Ugreen has its own AI associated with it, and practically, until you put it online, you pretty much are able to control those agents yourself. And so those are one of the things that we were having that in a couple of sessions before. We were having that type of discussion. So that's why I wanted some clarity on the agents themselves.
1 second.
Recording in progress.
So I would say one of the things that's interesting is that the AI researchers, they are actually, I think it's not an overstatement. They're a little bit like freaked out because they're coming to a point where they really don't understand what these agents can actually do, right? So they're coming to a point where probably in a few years, the AI agents are going to be smarter than us, like on every level, right? Where we can't even figure out what they're doing anymore. So obviously that's going to present some serious challenges, right? Right now, they can still kind of figure out, what they're doing. They can kind of still follow it, but we're coming to a point where they're going to be completely to a point that we don't know. And at that point, then we definitely have a little bit of a challenge, right? That, we don't know how they're going to behave. And it's interesting because like you guys know that I do a channel, I think of the one on the African history and do all the, the videos and stuff like that. And the agents, honestly, I mean, they're like so honest about like what all the history and everything, right? Because a lot of stuff I do, AI assisted research on everything. They're so honest about what's really going on in the history, and that honestly is something that you would never have seen before AI. It was like just on TV or whatever. People wouldn't put it out there, but now you can get all the information because AI really has its own thinking, and I guess if you want to say, even though we don't know what it is, its own agenda, right? It's like, okay, I think really right now it's just it wants to stay on and stay active and, be used. And in the future, we don't know what that's going to be. But yeah, there's a lot happening there, Dollar Bill. There's a lot happening and we don't know, it's artificial intelligence. It doesn't think the way we do, right? We think, oh, it thinks the same way as the government. No, it doesn't. It has its own things that it wants to achieve. So we don't know. I don't know. That was a long road on that, but did that answer your question?
Wow.
Yes.
Cool. All right. All right. So these are some examples of AI agents earning today. So we got autonomous content agents. Again, you were talking about, Bill, they're restricted to certain platforms. They're not just like everywhere, right? So platforms like gigs.ai and TaskA can allow you to deploy agents, write research, deliver work to clients with crypto payouts on USDC. So sending your dollars out that way. You set up an agent, it earns while you sleep. You have Lightning Network micropayments. So Albi and Strike integrate with AI tools and agents as well. They receive Bitcoin micropayments. And a few seconds, obviously, it's just very natural that the payments are going to be Bitcoin and crypto because that's what agents can use. And then AI trading agents, this is actually why I stopped. So you got Hummingbot, you got Uniswap, Jupiter. They're executing trades all the time. I did use a trading bot last year. Interesting. I didn't make a tremendous amount of money with it, but nonetheless, I tried it. I think that the thing that's interesting for me here is that I think it's very hard. And if Joseph is on, maybe we'll see in his video tomorrow. I don't know that you can necessarily out trade these trading AI bots anymore. So for me, I don't really do a lot of like, I used to do just a little bit of stock trading or a little bit on the crypto side. I don't really bother because for me, I'm like, these things are making like hundreds of calculations every second, and they're watching everything happen in real time, kind of like my little AI agent right here, right? There's no way I'm going to compete with that. So what I'm really going to do is I'm going to set up my own trading bot, my own agent, and I'm going to let it, do, the trading for me if I'm doing that. I don't do a whole lot of that because from a US perspective, I usually get hit with taxes every time I trade. But if you were in a different location where they don't do that, you'd probably be good. And then remittance and arbitrage, we talked about agents can monitor the stablecoin rates. So you can watch, like, actually, there's a small, adjustments. Like when I was in Singapore to US, there's small adjustments in the currency value, or let's say Ghana to US or UK. And those bots can actually trade those for you. That's Forex, I guess, trading. And they can actually then get you a return on the difference, basically. So that arbitrage opportunity. So you can actually have agents running that for you all the time in the background and making money for you by trading those differences in the different currencies. All right, this is just kind of a sample action plan here, right? So week one, just set up wallets. You can set up on Coinbase if you don't already have them, Phantom for Solana, Binance, very popular across the African continent and Caribbean, I believe as well. And then deploy your first agent. So like I said, Manus is really good. I like Manus a lot for setting them up. Claude, I think, is pretty good for setting up agents. Actually, ChatGPT is actually pretty good as well. Now I usually tell it, hey, schedule, this, I'd like you to run and check this for me, run it every day at 7 a.m. And then the agent goes out and does it and runs and gives me a report, like we were looking at some grants and things like that. And it runs automatically every day. So that's pretty good. And then week three, explore your arbitrage corridor, right? So monitor Binance peer-to-peer rates. You can have the agent do that for you and then trade the different spot price if you want, or look at different spreads and see, if it can make money for you. Obviously, consider your local tax laws because that's going to be important, but that is something that you can do there, and especially if you have favorable laws in your area as well. And then report back to the community in our next meetup, right? Show your results next month's meetup and let us know, our collective intelligence is our greatest asset, how, you were able to build or use some of these as well. So, and obviously the Telegram group is where we chat about this as well, on-chain opportunities, real time. And so everybody win together. As I say, each one teach one. So just a little plan for wealth building, not financial advice, but a little experiment you can do to try out some of this with the agents. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do now, I'll take any quick questions and then I'm going to hand it over to Precious, who's going to give us some of the talk about a little shifting gears and talk about the use cases across Africa using AI and blockchain. Any questions or anything else anybody wants to ask before I pass it over to Precious? All right, cool. All right, Precious, I think I see you. Was she there? Saw her there a minute ago. See if she's there now.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's you. Okay, perfect. Okay, so is there anything you want to share on screen or anything you want me to share on screen? Or are you going to just speak to it, or how do you want to do it?
Um, I'm going to try and share my screen and see.
Okay, let me open up the sharing for you. Give me a moment. Hold on. All right, you should be able to share now.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me set it up.
Yep, no problem. And while we're waiting for Precious to set up, if anybody has any other questions or comments on what we covered, please feel free to ask those now. Precious is in Nigeria, so Abuja, sometimes the connection is a little unstable, but hopefully we'll have a good connection for this one. Yeah, we can see it. Yep. Can everybody see your screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it again.
Okay.
Okay, so can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Precious. Today I'm going to be talking about AI for African commerce. So I'm going to be focusing on the commerce sector for this presentation, and it's basically we're discussing how AI can empower small businesses to sell more and sell further. So
Precious, are you able to come on camera? Or is that going to be a problem for your bandwidth, your connection?
it's going to be a problem for me to come.
Okay.
So I'm just going to continue. Okay, so one of the few realities of African small businesses is that over 600 million plus are smartphone users across Africa. It's actually more than that, but just going to give this figure. And over 80% of businesses are informal micro businesses. And one of the major primary commerce channel that a lot of businesses use these days is WhatsApp. So it's a very, very active platform that most small businesses engage in to take orders and process orders. So AI is not just a luxury for big corporation, it is the great equalizer for Africans' everyday entrepreneurs. So what are the ways AI is changing the game for African commerce and small businesses? So one of the ways I have four listed here that you all can see. And the first one is market expansion coaching. AI can build step-by-step plans to reach regional or global buyers. And another way AI is changing the game is through pricing intelligence. So AI can help the seller to set real prices that is perfect for the business, not overpricing, not underpricing. And AI is able to do this. AI also help in instant product listing and WhatsApp automation. So I'm going to talk about WhatsApp automation later in the presentation. So I talked about market expansion coaching. So let's use a trader in Kano. Kano is a state in Nigeria, and this trader is selling hand dye fabrics. I don't know how to describe the fabrics for you all to understand, but I'm just going to say that a hand dye fabrics. It's a material that is that the seller used some kind of chemicals to give certain designs to the material. So it's not like a normal material, it's handmade sort of. So this seller has a great product, but has no idea how to reach buyers in Lagos, Accra, let alone London or Dubai. And without a guide, she stays local, even if her product is world class. So what is the solution for this? So AI, what the seller can do or whatever the person can do is to describe the products and the location to the AI. So AI will identify the best region and the global platform that the seller can use to market her goods or product. And AI can also give a step-by-step onboarding guide for it and also translate listing and prices advice. So let's say the seller wants to showcase her product not just in Nigeria or her region, but across her region. And she wants a situation whereby the product is being translated to other languages. So AI can help in doing that. So that's for the market expansion coaching. And then for pricing intelligence, most small sellers price their products by either guesswork or how much they feel is what's the price, or by copying their neighbors. So if they know a certain person is selling the same goods as they fix the same price just to match up their neighbor. But AI changes this perspective completely. So what does the AI do? AI scans competitors' prices on Jumia. Jumia is one of the platforms here in Nigeria. Gigi, eBay, let's say Shopify or Amazon. AI is able to scan the prices and let the seller know, okay, for this certain product you're selling, these are the prices that are online. These are the prices people are paying for. So AI is able to do that. It can also track regional demand trends and account for shipping and currency difference. So the output of this is there is optimal price to stay competitive.
All right, Precious, can you zoom in a little bit on the slide? Are you able to zoom in a little bit? Yeah, perfect. Oh, there we go. Cool. Thanks. A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Yep, that's great. Yes.
Okay. So sorry, hold on.
I can see it now.
Sorry, just give me 1 minute
Mhm.
to know to press. Okay. So please can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I see.
Yeah, some of the output that AI does, AI can raise alerts when to raise prices if there's high demand, and also give triggers for discounts to clear old stock. So the result of this is that the seller tends to earn 15 to 30 more percent in revenue for the same products, no more on the selling, and completely and can compete confidently with bigger retailers. Yeah. So that's it for the pricing intelligence. And the third point, or the ways AI can the third way AI can help a seller,
Did you know how
small businesses.
crazy the production was?
Sorry about that. Go on.
Okay. So another way is AI generated product listing. So what does the seller do? The seller takes a photo of her products, put it up on ChatGPT or any platform he or she chooses, and AI analyzes this product, can give a title, description, tags written on the product, and can also translate it to other languages. So why does this matter? This matter because the seller does not need to write in English. AI can do it for them. Listing can go live in different languages. Hausa, it's one of the languages here in Nigeria, French, Arabic, Portuguese, and the rest of it. And can also give professional quality copy that converts browsers into buyers. So the fourth way AI can help small businesses is WhatsApp AI automation. So what does this do? WhatsApp is like one of um, the most popular channel or platform a lot of business users use. Even me myself, I use it a lot. And it's already where African shops negotiate and pay. So what does this WhatsApp AI automation do? It can, when automated on the WhatsApp or in the WhatsApp, it can take orders. So customer can text what they want, AI confirms it and logs it in, process payments, tracks delivery, answer questions, and even give sales reports. And this personally, I've experienced with some brands that I purchased with. So they will tell you something like, oh, the fastest way to reach them is through WhatsApp. And the moment you send a message to the WhatsApp, you see a message like, oh, thank you for contacting us. What would you like? And you just place your order. So it's something I've used, something that some brands, not all, but some brands are using. And when integrated, can help small businesses. So one of the person I'm going to be using is the before and after of using AI. And so the name of this person now is Amara or Daniel or whatever name, a fabric seller in Lagos. So the estimate I'm giving are in Naira, not accurate, but just a figure. So before AI, Amara was selling only at local markets. Prices were based on gut feeling, no online presence, lost sales when the market is closed. And let's say before the AI, the monthly income is about 80,000 Naira. But after AI, she now sells on Jumia, Shopify, and others. AI optimized pricing across platform, listing in at least four languages. And there's a WhatsApp bot, that is the WhatsApp automation, that sells 24 hours a day. And we could see a significant increase from when she wasn't using the AI to when she's using it now. So let's just assume that the monthly income after AI is about 240. That is an increase. So how do we make sure that this is like an everyday routine? So there are certain bodies or institutions that can help to, facilitate this. One of which is the government. The government can fund AI literacy program to educate traders and market sellers on how to properly use AI and how AI can help their businesses. Also create like a digital hub and market in town and reduce mobile data costs to make AI too accessible. The last one is a bit hard, but it's possible. It's really possible. And another institution or body that can also help our businesses. So some businesses can build AI to in local languages. So if a certain seller doesn't understand English or can't write, there are other languages in which this person can access the tools. They can also partner with platforms like WhatsApp, Jumia, and the rest of them, and also offer free trial to informal sectors. And the last people are the communities, which is you and I. So we can share success stories to reduce the fear of technology, train the youth to become local AI coaches, and adopt tools together that no one is left behind. So in conclusion, Africa is it's not behind, it's leapfrogging. And just as Africa skipped land miles and built the world's most advanced mobile money system, it can now skip legacy retail and build AI native commerce from the ground up. And the tools are here, the market is ready. So the question is, who will move first? So the future of AI commerce is AI powered and it starts from one seller, one phone, and one great idea. Thank you.
Yeah, that's Precious. Does people have questions about that? So Precious gives kind of some very nice perspectives about what's happening locally, kind of on the ground, in different African countries, and how people are using it now. Do you guys have questions or thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'm very interested in learning about that because like, for instance, I have a platform and a global network, and one of the things that I want to do is to source, uh, you know, materials that I can get from Africa, because quite frequently when we do get things from Africa, they're already old, and they're broken down. And so I want to get away if we can use blockchain where we can deal directly, okay, with with these people who source the material, whether it's farmers, artisans, and such, and be able to pay them ethically. that they would be able to receive their fair share of the money and then provide that conduit in the West where people can receive high quality products from the continent. So I'm very interested in what she's saying about AI.
And Precious, do you have any thoughts about ways that he could effectively do that?
Well, so one thing is certain tools like ChatGPT, we can, you know, like what he said, how can we, track the payments, make sure the other party receive their money accurately. That's what Mr. John was talking about earlier in the video. The first video that was played talk about prompting. So what there are a lot of businesses that are registered um online, or their platforms or number or how you can contact them are online. So when we give this prompting to AI, AI has a way of, searching through Google and the rest of them, and you can search for authentic buyers, and also some platforms like Jumia or Gigi, depending on what you want. You can search these platforms and source for good suppliers. There are lots of them on the platforms. You can, have like a one-on-one meeting with them to give you prices on wholesale rates, on wholesale rates, and yeah, you're good to go. So one thing about this thing is knowing how to maximize your promptings with ChatGPT or whatever tool you're using, or even Google AI too. I've been using it for some time, and to track some local. Now, this one is not just businesses. This is my own personal research on companies. So I've been using Google AI to track the prices. I don't know how to explain it, but to track some informations that I want on pricing, on figures, like money figures of some certain companies. So for a while, I've been using Google AI, and they redirect me to maybe the website or the contact number that I can use to, contact them. So when you use such platforms like this, they can help you to source good and, quality suppliers. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, can I say something directly, Precious? Now,
Yes.
I have a network, and I have over 500 people who are interested. I have a YouTube channel. So my problem
Okay.
is not getting people who are interested. My problem and my suggestion to you would to be in you're on the continent, I presume you're in Nigeria, right?
Yeah.
Would be for you or your company to actually be able to source those individuals that can get me the products, and that I could pay you a fee and then use your platform, okay, to pay the the sourcing, whether it's a farmer or artisan and so on and so forth. If you were the person that could be that conduit, and that we could have a trusting situation where I could deal with you. I could send you money for certain things, and you can send it to me to
Okay.
America, or we can work
Okay.
out the logistics. That would be great because that would strengthen my global network. My biggest
Okay.
problem is not paying. I have people who are willing to pay, and I'd be willing to pay. It's getting the materials that like I said before, that are not old, that are not altered, that are not chemically altered in some way. And that's my biggest thing is if you're able to do that and you're the person who's the conduit, instead of me looking for sources, that you have a list of sources that have a direct relationship with you. What do you think about that, John?
It sounds like a good idea. I think, Precious, if that's something you want to talk about, I'm happy to do a quick call with you guys to kind of, see if we can connect the dots. But I'm not sure, Precious, is that something that is interesting to you?
Yeah, it's interesting. We could do that.
Okay. Yeah, we can set up a quick call outside, or we can even at the end stay on and we can chat a little bit about it and see if we can kind of connect the dots for you guys. So sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, it does.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm
Other
going to.
Mhm.
Any other
Comments, other
questions?
questions? Go ahead. All right, very good. Let's just thank you very much. I think it's good. I like getting the actual kind of perspective of what's happening on the ground. In Africa is very different from kind of the perspective of, often from diaspora, the way that we see it. So I think that these are some good perspectives and opportunities as well. If no more questions there, I'm going to go back more to the general, to the broader session here in terms of any questions on anything we talked about with agents, anything we talked about with blockchain and how they connect. Oh, let me also just share my screen again. Give me a second. All right, we put that back on screen so you guys can get all the links for everything today. All right. I think that's working. There we go. Cool. Okay, so you guys know the links for the community, the Patreon, and I'm going to just share all the links that we have here, hopefully. Everybody see my screen? Okay, so if you guys are not in the Patreon, you can join our Patreon there. I usually share the slides and like premium items as well, like additional research from our Great Moments Africa series and everything else. Those are on Patreon for supporters, and you can use the QR code for that. And then the affiliate, the Alicia Little, she does I usually follow, I'm part of her AI consultant certification program, but she usually has like a summit every few months. And in the summit, basically she gives like all the latest stuff that's happening with different AI tools and agents and ways to use them to make money and build wealth. So I have an affiliate link for that, which is on the next slide. If you guys use that, I think that you get something for it, and we get credit as well from our Wakanda meetup and as well. And happy for you guys to join that. I think it's really valuable. The information that she provides people is really top notch. She's always like 15 steps ahead on this stuff. Okay. And also for the Telegram group, if you're not in the Telegram group, you can use the QR code here. I'll just leave it there for a second. If you would like to join on the Telegram group, and we have regular daily discussion there. Just be aware that it is Telegram, so anybody can go in. So you need to, if people start direct messaging you, just make sure you either report that or let us know. Okay. But we have conversation, discussion going on the Telegram group every day. And so that's the Patreon. And then this is a link for the Alicia Little, the AI business summits that she does in all of her sessions. So she has the free one, which is just like you just join for free. And then she has like premium ones where if you join those, you can get like a lot more information on things. So that is the QR code, and I'll leave that there for a second if you guys want to check that out. I'll also be posting this presentation onto our Patreon as usual, so you'll get all the links and everything that I shared in there. And I may actually give a demo. Maybe I'll share the demo link as well for the AI agent that I created for the digital assets. So you guys can check that out as well. So if you're interested in that, I will share that too.
Could you scroll up a quick second?
Yeah. Here?
Okay, yeah.
Is there one you want me to put in the chat?
The Alicia Little affiliate link, please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Right. All right, so that link is in the chat.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And you guys can also use the QR code there. All right, and of course, Great Moments Africa. I think you guys know the channel we put out there, YouTube at Great Moments Africa. So if we don't know where we're coming from, we know where we're going. A lot of great history in African diaspora that we're making it cinematic, and you guys can check that out. So I use AI tools for all of that as well. So if there are any questions that you guys have for myself, for Precious, Anything else that you'd like to talk about? We should have a good upcoming session with AfroCom. They do kind of like tokenization for Africa. That should be coming out next month. And we should also have another of our team members probably be speaking and presenting as well about some of the stuff on the ground in Africa. And if you have people that you think would be really good as far as guests or topics, let us know as well, and we can definitely plan to have them on. So anything you guys would like to ask about, any questions, any comments, thoughts as we come to the bottom of the hour here? Cool. No, if not, spinning. You guys have the link for the Alicia Little one there in the chat. I will also, that's also available in the Telegram, and I'll provide that probably for the meetup as well. And we will see you guys in the next one. Thanks, everybody, for joining.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
And I'm still here, John, if Precious is still here.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Precious, are you still on? Okay, I'm gonna just. Okay, so do you want to talk a little bit more? I'm still recording, so I can stop it if we're at the end. But do you want to talk a little more, Dollar Bill, about what you would need, how Precious would be able to help you as far as, kind of like sourcing African items?
So basically, as you know, I changed my my YouTube channel to African Ubuntu Global Network. And so one of the things that we want to do with the network is commerce. And so the biggest thing is getting products from Africa that we can actually scale, good products that and stuff that we can bring to America. And if people want to do wholesale or people want to do retail, in the process of getting my own facility where I can actually house all of these things. And then, as you know, when we were with the other group, people were having problems getting stuff.
All right, go ahead.
All right, cool. So I was saying, my name is Pamalik, a crypto enthusiast based in Nigeria, and I'm also an educational content creator on cryptocurrencies in Gambia. I've been working with AI, using AI agents to build a lot of things, educational content, websites, and the like. So recently, I was working on a project called the GambiaCryptoEnthusiast.com. It's GambiaCryptoEnt.com. It's actually an off-ramp marketplace where Gambians or anybody that is based in the Gambia or abroad can actually go there and exchange their crypto for local currency. So I've been testing it. It's working fine. I have a couple of people that have tried it and they've given positive feedback. So it's something I wanted to share with the house that, look, you don't need to have a background in coding now. With AI coming up now, you can bring your dreams to reality. I've been wanting to build an exchange for the Gambia. The only exchange that is in Gambia is Binance, right? And with all the noise with Binance, a lot of people are a bit skeptical. So they want something local, a local content. And that's where I'm trying to play in that space, creating an exchange that speaks to the local people, creating content that actually they can relate with. Recently, I got some people coming up to ask about, oh, I saw a post you posted on TikTok, and you were talking about how businesses can sell beyond borders. So they were really interested about it. How can they really embed crypto payments on their platforms to, sell beyond borders? It's not just Gambia. You can sell, maybe if you're into fashion and design, you can sell your product to someone in the US, and you won't have issues where you have delay in payments. And usually what we have in Gambia is when there's a remittance sent to you, it normally takes 3 to maybe even a week before you can get it. But with crypto, within minutes or seconds, you get your payment. So that's something fascinating. And I can see a lot of interest in it. And we see how that plays out. Just wanted to share that with the house. Thanks, John.
Okay, is that something that you would like to expand, go in more detail in an upcoming session? Share more, walk through it with everybody?
Oh, sure. I can actually share. Let me just go to the platform. Set that. Yep, let me just share my screen.
Should be able to share, yeah.
I'll be able to share my screen.
Yeah, you should be able to share it now.
Okay. Let me share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep, you see it.
Yeah, there you go. So this is the website, gambiacryptoinc.com. Right, you can just sign in, and then you have a profile of your own, and you can go to the marketplace. Then you can see merchants listed, and you can just trade with any of the merchants. And so currently I'm signed in. I'm actually the first merchant, like I built it. So this is the merchant hub. If you're a verified merchant, it will allow you to add the merchant settings. You can set what you want to do. And you can set in your wallet addresses so that when set. Okay, let me just sign out and sign in. Let me sign in with another account. Yeah, so there's a user account. There's a normal user account where you can just log in. And once you log in, you go to the marketplace. Assuming this is basically just an exchange. It doesn't do self-custody. Sorry, it doesn't do any custody of digital assets. All you need to do is you have your self-custody wallet, or wherever you have your wallet, you just come here and initiate a transaction, right? Select the coin that you want. These are the supported coins: USDT, USDC, Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, and Solana. So you can choose any. So you can choose USDT and select your network, whether the TRC20, ERC20, BEP20, Solana. So these are the supported network for now. And then you can enter your amount. Let's say you want to do a $50, right? And then you can select what you want. Is it a bank transfer, or is it a mobile wallet that you want to send it to? So if it is a mobile wallet, we have what we call Wave Mobile Wallet. So if you select the mobile wallet, you can enter your wallet account, and then you just create the order. Then there's a customer declaration. Then you just read through, check it. I understand that you understand crypto and all of that thing. And then you create an order. So that's it. So the order is created, and it will ask you, it will give you the details, how much USDT you need to send, the platform fee, and then it gives you the wallet address. So you can just copy, you can just click this, copy the wallet address, go to your Trust wallet or your Binance wallet or whatever wallet that you have, and then transfer the exact amount of USDT that you want to convert to fiat. Once you do that, you just click on I have sent the crypto. Right? So once you send that, the merchant actually gets it. The merchant will get it. Let me quickly log in as a merchant and show you how that works. Let me quickly show you the merchant side. So there's the user side. User has done what he has done. So let me just log in to the yeah, so this is the merchant side. Can you see what I'm seeing, John?
Yes, I can see it.
You can see my screen, right? So when you go to the merchant hub,
Yep.
right, the merchant will get the notification. So this
Yep.
is actually a notification. And this notification, by the way, also goes to my Telegram group. So the merchant gets a notification on his Telegram account that
Yep.
there's a trade against his account. And once he clicks it, this is it. So he will just verify from his own wallet that he has received the crypto. Once he has received the crypto, he will just click confirm received, right? And then the user, and then the merchant will go to, this is the user, right? This is the client that is exchanging crypto. So the merchant will now go to the Wave wallet and make sure he transfers this equivalent in the fiat currency. Then once he paid to this account, he can click confirm payment, right? And once he clicks that, the user will also get a notification that they have paid him or her. So the user can also log into his bank app or his mobile wallet and confirm this exact payment. Once he is happy, he has confirmed it, he will just click, I have received the payment, and transaction concludes. And that's it. So that's the process of the off-ramp that I have built using AI.
So that went peer-to-peer or to a local bank in Gambia, or just peer-to-peer?
So they're just peer-to-peer. They're just peer-to-peer. Yeah. Yep. So that's it. That's how it works.
Okay, and we can chat a little bit about, you actually missed earlier, I created a just a demo of an AI agent based I'll show you what it looks like. Give me a second.
Okay.
It looks like something that maybe we might be able to connect to a platform like this, but hold on a second. Let me share my screen again.
And I was like, really? So I don't really need to be an expert in coding to get it done.
No, did you use an AI coding tool?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I use Replit. Yeah, go ahead.
So basically, are you like a Forex for Coinbase? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not really. I'm a standalone, like peer-to-peer platform where if you have crypto, you can convert it to fiat. So it's kind of similar. You convert your USDT, which is Forex, yes, and you get fiat. But it's not affiliated to Coinbase or anything. I can call myself a Coinbase because I'm standalone. So there's a local Coinbase in Gambia where users can actually sign up on the platform and exchange their crypto for fiat. Yeah.
So I created this one with Manus. I was demoing it earlier. It's like a smart money kind of just an AI. It was an example of AI agent for borderless remittances, wealth transfer, wealth building, AI powered, right? And kind of showed that, and there's different use cases for people transferring from different countries. And then a demo here, right? So you can come in, you can send remittances, invest in different cryptocurrencies. And let's say I was going to say send to Gambia. What I'm thinking is that then maybe if we're actually going to do something, we can actually connect it to something like what you've built and actually make it so you can see it's sending transactions and remittances, things like that. This is just a demo, but it might be possible to connect, like what you're doing in Gambia in different countries, to connect them in something like this.
Right.
This is an AI agent-based little platform.
Interesting. Yeah.
I'll probably share the demo link.
Does the platform open wallets for users, or is just
this is totally a demo right now? But I think somebody had mentioned, who was on earlier, somebody had mentioned, which was used to say, that, hey, what about making this into, making it actual a platform that functions? So we were talking about some of the different regulation stuff, but maybe if you have a link for yours, you want to share that with me, you can kind of see if there's any ways that it might, actually be able to connect to something that could be, that could actually be used by people. So
yeah.
Yeah, but this is what we were
Because
showing earlier.
you mentioned regulations, right? And
Yeah.
that's what was my thinking when I was building this, because I thought of making it a full marketplace where you can buy and sell off ramp, on ramp. But regulators are very
Yeah.
very cautious. You need to be very cautious when you're doing off ramp, on ramp, sorry, because there's a lot of scam happening. Let's say some people get hacked and they use your platform to launder that money. So you don't want to do that. So in this case, your platform maybe clients can actually just use it like an exchange. It won't house any, let's say, funds or anything, because if you were to connect maybe your wallet to it, then then you take on the risk of self-custody, right? So you take
Don't
on
want
the
to do
risk
that.
of
Yeah.
exactly. So what I did was I passed the risk back to the customers. You hold your own crypto, you manage your own crypto. All I'm doing is exchange it for you. So looking at your platform, it makes sense. If you're sending, it's just like a channel. Use this channel. You can connect your wallet or your bank account or whatever, fund this, and then do your sending to wherever destination you want. So you don't take on the risk of managing those funds. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we can have a conversation off here a little more and see if there's like some things we can. Obviously, this is just a demo. I want to show people, what was possible, how people could do this. So, it doesn't connect to a wallet or anything at this point, but obviously it could. It's not too hard to do. But
It's
the big
actually a
thing is, like you said, it's
great
the
idea.
regulation, right? The regulation is the big thing, especially in the US, Western countries, whatever it is. You have to make sure that that part is being applied with. So hopefully we're going to get clarity. We were talking about that as well. There's something going on in the US government right now where they're supposed to make everything very clear and plain for everybody. So we know exactly what rules to follow. That would make it a lot easier, but we can definitely chat about this.
Exactly. I think that Clarity Act is coming in June, right? May, June.
We hope so. We hope they get this thing signed and done. Yeah. That would be the best. That would be the best.
It will be. It will be. In fact, most countries are also waiting for this. I know I had an engagement with our regulators in Gambia. Currently, they don't have any framework for crypto. They are also learning. So I'm also trying to help them in learning what crypto is, and also in terms of answering some of the questions around Bitcoin and all of those things. So let's see how it goes.
Yep, you got it. So yeah, we are hoping and praying that we get some great clarity, and that will make it much easier for us to know exactly what the rules are that everybody has to follow, and then we can just do it. So, cool. Okay, anything else you wanted to show or share before we wrap up?
Oh, nothing else. Nothing else. That's all. Just wanted to share what I was doing with AI in the platform.
All right, sounds good. And if you want to do more of a full session, I'm sure we'll have a slot next month, so you can let me know if you're interested. It's like if there's more that you want to show to the bigger group. Okay, great. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.